Heartbreak and heroism. The theme of the conclusion to Week 9 tonight. The SFL Postgame Show is on the air. Baltimore 20, DC 17. Louisville down 24-13. Scores 19 unanswered points tonight. Remain undefeated. 32-24. 19 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. I don't know how Louisville keeps doing it, but they keep doing it. Open line 210-473-8428. We'll take as many calls as we can get without interruption. And after calls, we'll also take calls on the playoff situation. Man, what a night. I'm still in shock over Cody Cantrell's decision-making late down the stretch. That was about as anti-clutch performance as I've seen. Well, let's take a look at the Gray Conference. Well, no, we're going to get the owner of DC on the air. Jermaine Smith of the Dragons. I'll let you just have the floor because even I can't believe this one.
Well, since I am the president of SFL, I got to keep it clean. It's going to be very hard to do so.
Yes, I agree.
I mean,
17 points in the first quarter, then Baltimore outscores you 17-0 in the second quarter, and then no one scores in the second half. Don't think I've ever seen that box score before.
Well, what happened tonight was why we failed this season. That's we start off strong and then we slack. I don't know how many games this happened, but when I saw it, I just started laughing. I was like, well, here we go. And so it happened again. We start off strong. I didn't get excited. I was like, oh, I'm just waiting for it to turn around any moment now. And as soon as they score the touchdowns, oh, here it comes. And sure enough, it happened.
And the red zone struggles continued to be a problem tonight for DC. In your opinion, as an owner, as a coach, what yields a good red zone offense? Can you have a red zone offense that is tailor-made, or can you have an offense that is tailor-made to score touchdowns in the red zone tonight? 2 trips, a field goal, and an interception for you guys.
Well, I mean, you can, but, we're not successful at it, obviously. It's not the first time. It's not the first game this happened. It's happened before. And so, I mean, that's what happened, That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, have you ever seen a quarterback on a Hail Mary to win the game, take off and run and slide with no time left and no timeouts?
Yeah, somebody smoking crack, yeah.
Well, I guess Cody needs to share then, or maybe he was sharing and that was the problem.
Hanging out in the strip club on Wisconsin Avenue the night before, plus did something, I don't know. But I mean, like I said, good game, Baltimore. I mean, they had a hand in victory. Yeah, they faded us to death, but we beat ourselves. And for me, I got said in the chat room, I lost the game tonight. I was looking at, I got succumbed to the dark side with the Sioux Falls and seeing those bright yellow high beam uniforms and how they run Swing Pass City. I was like, let me see if I can maybe incorporate that. And for some reason, the same exact play did not work for us. It kept looking downfield and do check downs. That was not the plan. That was to do swing. Figured we'd do it, but, obviously we should stick to what we know instead of trying to copycat off somebody else.
Well, but a lot of Hawkins' receptions were on checkdowns. I wouldn't call them Swing City. I mean, a lot of that was checkdowns where Hawkins' route had even stopped, and Cantrell either he didn't have anybody open or he dumped it off to Hawkins. So I didn't think that it overtook the game for you tonight. But I mean, Greg Corky, 2 catches for 13 yards. That's just got to be unacceptable offensively, I would think.
Well, the last bit I made some changes. I wanted to pound the ball. I knew that there was going to be some rain the next 3 days in this area. And so that's why I was like, okay, well, what's going to have to happen?
So you anticipated the rain.
What's that?
You anticipated the rain. That's rare.
Well, yes. I mean, yeah, because I did the changes Monday night, and I was like, hold on, now with the forecast, let's do it. Let's go back and add some stuff to it. And so that's what happened. I looked at the forecast, going to rain in this area next 3 days. So I thought, okay, let's pound this ball. I was shocked that the first play of the game, he hit that pass, up the seam to the tight end. And I'm just like, okay, all right, if they're going to pass the ball, fine. But the game plan was to pound the ball. But, Corky's got to get more than 2 catches. But, like I said, it's unacceptable. And, I mean, there's not really much you can say about it. I mean, that second half and that last drive, that last play when he threw the interception in the end zone, now that explained that was our whole entire season, that one game. The whole story of our season was told in that game. Hollywood cannot write a better script than what you witnessed tonight. That's why I wasn't surprised.
And I'm sure at some point, Jermaine, you just want this conversation to end. But thanks to Louisville's comeback, you are still very much alive in the playoff for a playoff spot. I have never seen an SFL standings year like we've had. We've got no one in the Teal Conference with less than 3 wins. And we've got the 4th place team in the Gray Conference at 3-6. Who could have predicted that to start the year?
Well, that's the thing. With cross-conference play, teams were, winning and losing. The Teal dominated the Gray for the most part, for what I recall, and so that pretty much helped everyone out. Us. I mean, right now we're 2-7 and 3 games left, and to be honest with you, man, we don't even deserve to be in the playoffs. I don't want to sniff the booty of the playoffs right now. I just at this point now, I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm going to do the best I can to finish out. We're not going to quit. There will be changes. There won't be any, well, let's let it go for this week, forget it. Nah, I'm definitely taking the half-wing Jokers formation out, and, we're going to, just do our thing, because this is the last ride. Even if we don't, like I said, no playoffs at all, but these last 3 games, man, we just gotta look good, because right now we're gonna have a worse record than we had last season.
NYC, Carolina, Queen City, Cleveland, D.C. Somebody is going to get in. Who most deserves it in your mind? If anybody.
Oh, man, well, now selfishness will say me, but being excuse me, forgive me, us, but.
Well, you just said you don't deserve it, so.
I know, but I wouldn't mind getting in. I ain't gonna say no. I mean, someone gives you $50, you gonna say no?
No.
All right then.
No.
So exactly. So yeah. So like I said, I'm not looking at the playoffs. We're not going to playoffs. I'm not anyway. I'm just going to put in the plays and do the best to show face for the rest of the season. Hopefully we can go, 5-7, whatever that may be, and if we get in, great. If not, then It was great, 3 seasons. It was great. The first season in particular was great. It felt good. Winning that championship game brought tears to my eyes, but it's it all got to end. All good things must come to an end.
Is Louisville ever going to get unlucky?
No, I think they'll go to the championship game and they'll lose again. I think they're the flavor of the month. They do their thing. Now, granted, this year and the last 2 seasons is that they haven't lost yet.
Right.
And so that's the difference. But I believe that it'll be someone new. I think if whoever they meet here, see in our conference. So I'll say probably Baltimore will stop them. Maybe even Dallas. Who knows? It'll be the same scenario as the first season when we snuck up on them and beat them, and last year when Houston pulled it off and beat them. I just think that the horseshoe up the arse is coming out very soon.
All right, well, Jermaine, a tough loss again, but thanks for your time, and hopefully you don't bring the poor execution to the SFL front office when you get here.
Oh
Sorry,
no, most definitely not. Nah.
that was insulting. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I mean, like I said, I always, like I said, when it comes to that stuff, that's always 110% in that, and that's most definitely just. I wish it translated on the field.
Yeah, well, it was tough. I thought it looked good early. It didn't happen. Jermaine, thanks so much.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, yeah, sorry guys, throwing a little salt. I don't know why I'm doing that. You've seen the Gray Conference playoff race on the screen. We want to take your calls, anyone's calls really, on these playoff races. We're going to put the teal up for you here for a moment as well. And you see, similar things happening in the teal where you've got that upper echelon. Sioux Falls and Santa Fe, by the way, have clinched playoff spots because there's not any team 4 through 8 that can finish at 8 and 4. So Santa Fe and Sioux Falls are in. Oklahoma City they have not played at Tallahassee or Houston, but they play them both in back-to-back weeks. They host Tallahassee in Week 10 at Houston in Week 11, and you can see the monster games coming up in the Teal Conference. And it's pretty incredible as Los Angeles and Orlando are in a dead heat also for the playoffs, and those two square off in Week 11. Minneapolis and Los Angeles will meet on the primetime game Saturday, October 8th, the same night that Sioux Falls will battle Houston. Houston has been trying to scratch its way out of the doghouse at the bottom of the conference, and they are very close to doing that. OKC and Tallahassee are on some pretty significant losing streaks that have taken those teams to a tumble to 3-6. But very interesting sort of playoff races around the gray and the teal. If anyone wants to comment on the gray and teal races or wants to comment on these games tonight, you just let us know by calling 210-473-8428. And if not, we'll put a bow on Week 9. Again, our next broadcast is Wednesday. Week 10 is Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday next week. And Week 11 does not go affected. But the primetime games that I will be calling in Week 10, Carolina, Queen City, a battle of 3 and 6s in the gray. Los Angeles and Minneapolis, Saturday night, 5 and 4 versus 4 and 5 in the West Division in the teal. And then Thursday night, I'll have Baltimore and NYC. And if Baltimore wins that, they will clinch the division and obviously a playoff spot. They have not done that yet because their lone meeting with NYC, and keep in mind, NYC got their third win of the season last year in Baltimore in Week 12. And the Sailors certainly proved tonight they can play with anybody. So that'll be a huge game to decide or not to decide the fourth place spot, the North Division, the Baltimore NYC bragging rights, etc. So we'll have that game for you Thursday as well. A few good ones, and then Andy Hamilton will also have a battle of 3 and 6s, Tallahassee and Oklahoma City. Baltimore and D.C. 20-17. D.C. had a 17-3 lead in the first. Baltimore outscored the Dragons 17-0 in the second. No one scored in the second half. Some final notable numbers. Cody Cantrell had a really nice game before he just blew it at the end. 20 for 30, 202. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked 6 times. Elliott Snyder with his second best game on the ground this year. 139 yards on 24 carries for a score. Mike Osai, 5 catches, 107 yards, and a touchdown to lead the way. Prince Escobar had 3 catches for 60 yards all early on in the game, and then he went really quiet. Eddie Gage, 11 tackles. Marshall Matthew, 10 tackles for the Dragons to lead the way for that defense. And Dominique Porter Also had 2 interceptions tonight to go along with 5 tackles and a bonus pass defended. So Baltimore gets the win 20-17. And I think we're going to put a wrap on Week 9, folks. Your finals once again tonight: Baltimore 20, DC 17. And then Louisville comes back, 19 unanswered points, beats NYC 32-24. Week 10 starts Wednesday, and we'll see you then. And a lot to do until then. This is SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine, and it's been a good time tonight. This has been a presentation of the SFL. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend.